What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, Go Black to Africa. I want to share this video with you. This video that was created by Vicemen Tv. Go check out his videos here in his YouTube channel because he is there on the ground in Ghana. And, he was gracious enough to let me use this video to share with you all this white couple from Europe who had these words to say. Check the video out and I'll be back.
Where did you guys come from?
We came from England about four days ago now. Flew into Accra after a very high recommendation of coming to Ghana from a colleague of Jess's. So we're here for, how long are we here for?
11 days. 11 days.
11 days.
Okay. So why are you in Ghana?
So we came to Ghana because a friend of mine, or a couple of friends of mine, back in London, are from Ghana, and they were I was asking them about their culture and stories, and everything they told me, it just sounded so amazing here. They talked lots about how friendly and welcoming the people are, and how beautiful it is, and there was countryside, there's tropical rainforest, there's beautiful beaches, and I thought it sounds pretty perfect.
And we had a very harrowing visit to the castle, Cape Coast Castle.
Nice one.
But great to, harrowing but very important history that all Europeans should learn about, and all Europeans should understand what happened.
So what were some of the perceptions, of which negative perceptions were you having when you were coming from England?
I think one of the overarching perceptions of travelling in Africa for European people is that it perhaps feels dangerous here, and that it can feel unsafe. And I think that's probably one of the main reasons why people feel worried to come here. Like, they hear stories from South Africa about hijacking. They hear stories about Northeast Africa and some terrorist attacks and things, and I think, unfortunately, Africa is a massive continent, but it's not necessarily perceived that way by the Western world. It's really strange. I think people in the Western world think of Africa as more like a country than a continent. And we were saying here, just as we arrived, the latest variant, the Omicron variant, was announced. And everyone was really worried for us and whether we were going to get back and whether it was going to be okay, or if Africa would go on lockdown. And I just thought it was so interesting because I said to my friends, like, I measured I looked on a map and said, right, from Accra to Cape Town, it was something like 8,700 kilometers.
Wow.
And then you look at Paris to Istanbul, and it's something like 2,700 kilometers. And so if the Omicron variant was in Istanbul and we were going on holiday to Paris, no one would be asking us if we were going or not, and if we'd be worried, because it's so far away. Yet Cape Town to Accra is like triple that. So I find that really interesting, that the perception is that it's more like a country.
In India, when we travelled there for 6 months, we found that it was quite a love-hate relationship sometimes. Like, in the morning you would get a lot of hassle. Jess would get a lot of hassle, wouldn't you, sometimes, like from men specifically. And in Ghana, just touch wood, zero trouble. Just a lot of friendly people that are all here to make sure we have a good time and look after us, and really respectful. Yeah.
Most of the things that the Western media portrays about Africa, and specifically Ghana, it's wrong, or it's not true.
I don't think you see much in the Western media about Ghana specifically. But you see in the media, there's always stories of like famine, war, malaria, AIDS, like all these, like lots of charity adverts and things, and it's always the same perception of Africa as a young child who's very hungry, has to walk many miles for water. And I don't think some of the more positive stories come across through the media. Like Nollywood, for example, is so huge. I feel like it's. I'm sure
it's any country in the world. Yeah.
How amazing! And yet people don't realise that. They're not aware of that.
So do you think that people should travel to Africa or Ghana to unlock the true Ghana or to unlock the true Africa?
Definitely, definitely. Like, I will be going home and recommending Ghana to all my friends. I think it feels very safe here. We said we travelled a lot, and I stepped pretty much off the plane and we walked through Accra, and I've said immediately I feel very safe here. And I think, as a woman, I think that's really important. I've travelled to parts of Europe and felt less safe. I think the beaches are beautiful. I think there's a job to be done here for tourism in terms of there's lots of litter on the beach. Some of the customer service in some of the hotels needs a bit of work. I think there's lots of education to be done around how actually it's quite easy to travel around Ghana.
So what are your final words to the people out there?
Come to Ghana. It's beautiful. The people are the most friendly, warm, welcoming people. I think there's so much to see and explore and adventure here. Like, you should come to Ghana and see it for yourself.
What about you?
Come to Ghana and try the chili sauce, maku. It is absolutely delicious. And if you want a beer, it's Mapacho Mimi beer.
All right. Thank you.
Mapacho Mimi beer. Right?
What are you trying to say?
That's right.
I just want to know. What are you trying to say? What was he trying to say?
I think he was trying to say, I'd like a beer, please.
Mapacho Mimi beer.
Me passion mommy beer. Please give.
Very close. Come on.
So what do you think? Well, let me say this right here. You know, I've been trying to wake a lot of our people up around the globe, the diaspora, African descendants of slaves, as well as those who are the diasporas coming from out of Africa, coming into these Western worlds, building these economies up that are putting their blood, sweat, guts, and tears into trying to build these systems that really aren't for you. But this couple, like many other couples coming from Europe and other parts of the world, who are Caucasian and also of a European descendants, have sent out and blew the horn, you see, to their friends, to the world, that come visit Africa. You know, it's interesting enough that we as a people, like I try to share with the rest of us here, that the lie was told about Africa. This whole story that was told that it's got problems and issues and tribal wars and diseases and, you know, they have starvations and hunger and all of these things that our propagandas of, you know, the commercials and all of what was on TV, that Africa is this sick continent that put a lot of fear in our people. Now, this European couple here who decided that they would go ahead and say that they would share with all their friends when they get back that Ghana is a place to visit. Now, I've said this before because I've been to 26 African countries, that you find that Africa is a vacation continent for Europe. On the east of Africa, you find that most of the Russians and most of UK or what have you will come down into the Tanzania, the Kenya area at the beaches to enjoy their vacations. On the west of Africa, you're going to find more of the Germany. You'll find more of what it is, the Swiss, or whether it is even part of the Spain and Italy, whatever, will come down on that side of the continent. And most we know that are Dutch, the Brits, goes down to South Africa. But let me say this right here. Oh, it even extends down to Zimbabwe. Many of these European countries also goes on the further south down on the east of the continent of Africa. But let me say this, though. While they're enjoying a continent that is sitting waiting for you to come back to your motherland, You to come back to the country that you started off or originated in, for you to come back to be able to enjoy the freedoms that are there, the liberties that are there, the beautiful landscapes, the mountains, the oceans, the biggest, grandest scale of which you can find around the globe, Africa has. For many of you all who've watched some of my older videos, I have skied in Africa, Lesotho, there in the southern part of Africa. You know, whether I've zip lined in Africa, whether I was in the ocean swimming in Africa, doing trails in Africa, I've done a lot of travels on the safari with the animals. There is so much to do and experience beyond than just the country of like America, UK, Canada, that there is. The Europeans are coming in by the droves. But here's the problem that I have. That our people who sit back and complain that the Chinaman is coming and taking over, the Europeans or the Russians are coming and taking over, and these other places are coming and taking over, but you're not. Why are you still stuck in a country that is not respecting you? A country who has a disregard for you, a country that overlooks you, a country that does not want to give you reparations, a country who does not want to reinstate you in a right standing, a country who has a disdain for you because of your skin color. That many of Africans flock to these Western countries thinking that it's going to be better for them. But see, the horns have been blown by many Europeans who realize Africa is a place to definitely come and enjoy, and many are coming in to live. You see, it has all the accommodations in certain countries that are there, certain countries and cities that you may be wanting to get in where you fit in at. It is there for you. But this couple here, who has shared the safety and the security of various countries that they've been into and other countries outside the continent that they did not feel security, they are wanting to let everybody know that they know, come on down to Africa. Now, you know, I have trying to push and promote Africa because, you know, it is a cheaper cost of living. I've bought 3 properties in Africa. I have established a keen network of people and friends and business ties in Africa. Something as simple as going to visit and getting in to have a piece of not just what you is out there for you to have, but rightfully yours. The day has come where now they say that Africa is the future, and I say no, Africa's the now. And until we understand that, family, you'll be stuck out in these Western worlds, working your fingers to the bone, being disrespected, having no honor and dignity. You'll just be that servant that most people will enjoy. This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can kick it aside.
Think about it, 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 think about it.